Sit right down. Let's see what Andrew Tate has to say right now. I heard there's some outrageous comments.
You know, this human
Progress.
trafficking crap. They hate on me more with no convictions, not a single picture of a victim, not a single girl on the news saying I hurt her, zero. I get more hate than Epstein.
Well, we've never heard this guy's voice. You're one of the leading voices in the world.
I wonder if it's because the people who was on his island own the media. Ever crossed your mind? Maybe it's interesting. Maybe the people who are on his list own the media, and they're like, no, we didn't do human trafficking. This guy did. Let me tell you, the only thing I've ever tried to do with a girl in my house is get her out.
Oh,
Please leave. Please, the taxi's outside. Yeah, tomorrow I'll definitely see you sitting on it for 10 years, and they've just put it on the news now.
2016, March of 2016.
Okay. So 9 years ago.
I said this to Tristan verbatim. I said, T, they're about to get Diddy. He said, why? I said, they've released a video that is 10 years old. They've been sitting on this for 10 long years. This was 2016 they got the footage. Why has no one seen it? And Tristan goes, and that's out now? I was like, yep. 2 weeks later, arrested. They set up the public perception before the arrest. And I know how this works, so I saw it and called it. This came out of nowhere. This was stored somewhere in the Matrix archives. When they decided to take him down, first thing you do is slander him, just like they did to me. Before we were arrested, there was a media campaign trying its very best to paint us as bad people because the media doesn't report the news. Gentlemen, please understand, the media prepares the public for the news. That's what they do. The media starts saying, you're going to die from COVID. Everyone's dying from COVID. COVID's scary. We might have to lock you in your house. We'll try not to, but we might have to. Prepare for maybe a lockdown. They soften your mind to the idea of things. They don't just come along and say, lock in your house, because people will rebel. They soften your mind to it. They softened people's brains to the idea of a Diddy arrest on purpose because it was all set up and decided.
You watched and seen the stories.
This is Andrew
and
Tate
I know what
watching
happens
the
is
video.
you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda tour. I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. I have been.
Do you have the clip of his ambassador, not ambassador, diplomat? That
Analyze, and once again, I'm guessing,
Okay,
but
here
I can
goes
come
Andrew
up with a
Tate.
conclusion. I can guess why I think this happened.
Look at this, shaking her head.
I want to see guarantees because
No,
you get a
so,
ceasefire faster
not
than
good.
an agreement.
Yeah, go for it.
Right. So, firstly, the reason I think Trump's saying good things about Kier is because Kier probably instantly agreed to everything Trump wants. I think Trump's a carrot and stick guy. I think if you turn up and in private he says we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and you go, okay, sir, we'll do X, Y, and Z, then you're a great guy. I can't imagine Kier sat down and argued with him or disagreed with him about anything important. He would have got that answer. So I think that basically Kier bent over and America's going to get the better end of the deal. So for that reason, he gets praise, because praise from Trump is good for your poll figures anywhere, any party, anywhere around the world. It's a good thing. Even liberals like you more if Trump likes you. That's how powerful he is. So what that means is that in their private exchange, Kier gave Trump everything he wants. That's what I believe. As regards to Zelensky, I would argue that he was told by European elites that Trump is against this war and Trump is talking to Putin, and they probably told him that Trump is a bully and Trump likes to bully people, and you have to look strong in front of Trump. Don't be afraid of him. If you stand up to a bully, it puts them in their place, and you're the leader of a country now at war, and you have to show them that you're a strong leader. If you add in second language frustration and incompetence, you get a scenario like the one we just saw. So I think Zelensky was hyped up and told to stand up to a bully. You add in the fact he's speaking in his second language and doesn't truly understand English. You add in the fact he's nervous and incompetent. You add in the fact he's likely a drug addict. And you have the train crash we just saw there. That's what I think happened.
Were you getting the drug addict?
Wow. Oh,
I have
my
to go back to
gosh.
Romania
Okay,
on
well,
March
let's hear
23rd,
another comment that
and
he has to
Ukrainians
say
operate
here.
heavily
Just
inside of Romania. I don't
two
wanna catch a
shakes of the
bullet, but
lamb.
it's been
All
been
right.
stopping the
Great point
killing
right here. Let's take a
between
listen
Israel
here
and Gaza.
to
I'm not saying
what he
has
has
all
to
the
say
solutions.
about
I'm not saying everything
conflict
he's done
and
is perfect,
peace.
but he certainly stopped the killing, and that's got to be the first thing you do, right? Things have to be done incrementally. It's unfair to expect a leader to come in and have a complete full solution to everything head to toe. You have to do things in increments. And increment one is to stop people dying, I would argue. So I think for that reason alone, he's done a good job in Israel and Gaza. As for Ukraine, Russia, well, Ukraine doesn't want to stop the fight because Ukraine is being sponsored by Soros and the insanity of Europe now. So Zelensky disrespected our president and our vice president in the Oval Office and then ran to our allies to be treated like a hero, which is completely mind-bending to me. If I was Donald Trump, I would be infuriated. That is absolutely disgusting what Europe's just done. And the killing is going to continue in a war that Ukraine simply cannot win. So you ask, how do you solve for world peace? That's a very difficult scenario. It's a very difficult question. It depends on each individual war at the time, right? For me to answer that compendiously for every single conflict on the planet, I'm not sure I can. But if you're constantly trying to solve for peace, I'd like to think it's doable. The reason we have all these conflicts is not because of the differences between people. It's because the people involved are not looking for peace. They're not looking for it. Nobody's interested in it. Zelensky doesn't want peace. Europe doesn't want peace. That's obvious. So how can you have peace when you have teams that simply don't want it? The Russians don't want this war to continue. They proved their point.
So true.
They proved their point and they want peace to come. But when you have one side that's intent on fighting, we look at it in a relationship. You can have a man and a woman. The man can be the best man on earth. He can be the best speaker, the best relationship coach on the planet. If his woman's intent on fighting, she's gonna fight. So you need to have you need to look at each individual conflict and try and encourage people to seek peace. Unfortunately, this is an unfortunate reality of the world. Sometimes some people only want to seek peace when they have no other choice. And
Well, there you have it. Andrew Tate goes on to say that the only way to solve it in that situation would unfortunately be combat, war, man for man. So there you have it. There's just a couple more things that he had to say that I really found interesting. You know, sometimes we have to step back, think for a second and say, wait a minute, let's try to take a deep breath and see someone else's side of the coin there. It won't hurt. What's going to hurt? All right. Anyways, have a great day. Like, subscribe, share, tell your mama, tell your grandma, tell your auntie, uncle. I don't care. Tell your dog for all you care. Get him on the computer too. I don't give a crap. All right. Have a great day. Peace.